All right. So admin thing real quick. I had to redo this thing, man. Had to redo it for you guys. Wasn't a lot of participation, kind of winged it. And I had to delete that thing, and we're going to redo this real quick. Hold on. Just the admin. Let me do some admin real quick. And then we'll get after it. Nope. Nope. All right. Well, I'll fix it later. I'll fix this thinking later. So anyway, what's going on, Tar Heel Nation and college football fans? I had to redo this thing, man. Tried to wing it, and it was terrible. So we're going to redo this thing, and we're going to talk about the Carolina defense and the culture. And obviously, as we all know, man, Jeff Collins is coming in, right? We're leaving the Gene Chizik, bend don't break defense, and we're going into the Jeff Collins era, which who knows how long that'll stinking be. And I'll show you that he usually doesn't stay in the same place too long. But as far as the defensive coordinator is concerned, we should be really excited about Jeff Collins. Now, let's look at Jeff Collins' defensive history, if you will. So, first of all, he played linebacker for Western Carolina from 1989 to 1992. So, 4 years as a linebacker, Division I football. Then he was an assistant from 93 to 94. He did some high school coaching in North Carolina. And then he really got his first job in 2005 as the Western Carolina defensive coordinator. In 2006, I think he was a recruiting. He was like the head of recruiting. Then he did some stuff with Alabama in 07. He coached the UCF linebackers from 08 to 09. Then he was the FIU defensive coordinator in 2010. Then he goes over to Mississippi State, and he's at Mississippi State from 2011 to 2014 as a co-DC or a defensive coordinator. Then he gets to Florida in 2015, 2016, and then he gets his first head coaching job at Temple 2017 to 2018 before he gets the other place job, because that's what he likes to call it. He likes to call it the other place. He says that it's like not a big deal. It's a stinking big deal. There's a reason why he doesn't call it Georgia Tech. He calls it the other place, which I think is kind of funny. You know, how he's trying to act like that's, I really don't care. I'm sure he loves those kids, but to him, that's the other place. That's what it's thinking called. So what is his head coach record? His overall head coaching record is 25-38. His bowl record as a head coach is 1-0. So let's talk real quick about, because this is what I really want to get, to the nuts and bolts of, is his time as a defensive coordinator. Because everybody wants to point to the head coaching job. Listen, let me go on a tangent here real quick. Jeff Collins won 3 games each year for 3 years, okay? Now, that was one of the most tumultuous, turmoil-filled eras of college football, 2019, 2020, 2021. In 2019, he basically, after Paul Johnson left, he had to transition that program over, from the triple option. So give him some stinking leeway right there. Then 2020, COVID hits, right? And he's dealing with that in 2020, 2021. So it's not like the guy just had like this smooth operating, well-oiled machine to step into before all hell broke loose and everybody in Georgia Tech and Atlanta wanted to stink and kill the guy. He inherited a just atrocious situation, and it only got magnified and multiplied when COVID hit. So he was successful at Temple. His first, he brought that team. They were 7-6. They won their bowl game. Then the next year they go 8-4. I think they started 0-2, and then they ripped off like 7th Street. They go 8-4, and then he obviously leaves for Georgia Tech. So don't get your panties in a bunch, if you will, over, my man's head coaching record. All right, let's not do that. All right, let's look at his time as a defensive coordinator. So focus on his time with Florida International in 2010. All right, they led the Sun Belt Conference in total defense, scoring defense, and turnover margin. At Mississippi State in 2013, he helped lead the Bulldogs to a top 5 SEC total defense, rushing defense, and passing defense. In 2014, his Mississippi State defense led the SEC in sacks and also had the conference's #1 red zone defense. At Florida, he oversaw a defense that ranked number 11 in scoring defense in the entire country. And in 2015, they were number 6 in the entire country. Number 6 in 2015, number 11 in 2016. The 2015 squad, they held 3 teams on the road without a scoring touchdown. Then he gets his first head coaching job at Temple, and then obviously he's thinking, has the other place job, because that's what it is. That's what it's called. It's called the other place for Jeff Collins. He could say that's not a big deal. I don't mean anything by that. Yeah, they don't like him, and I'm sure that he's not really, excited about the Georgia Tech individuals. Anyway, what's up, Nick? Appreciate you hanging out for a second, brother. Go Heels. Talk about the Terps. Yeah, we'll get right on that, Ant. So anyway, Jeff Collins, okay? So I've heard people say, well, yeah, he was at Florida and Mississippi State. He had SEC talent. Well, let's take a look at what kind of talent Jeff Collins is stepping into when he inherits that North Carolina defense, okay? Let's see what kind of talent he inherits. Kamen Rucker is a preseason All-AC selection. Preseason All-ACC. He was a 3-star guy. Obviously, he has achieved far greater things than anybody could have ever dreamed that Kamen Rucker would be. Last year, he had 10.5 sacks. They call him the stinking butcher for a reason. He is a super stinking senior. Next to him, Javari Ritzy, high 4-star guy. He's a senior. Next to him, Kevin Hester Jr. He was a 3-star guy, but he had a really good year 2 years ago. Probably took a little step back last year, right? But this is a very capable football player. And then right beside him on the other edge is Desmond Evans, who for a long time was like the 5-star dude, man. He was the number 2 guy in the entire state of North Carolina. It was a big deal that we got him. Now he's a stinking super senior. So across your front 4, you got 4 stinking seniors, high 3-star, high 4-star, 3-star, 5-star. Behind him, Joshua Harris, high 4-star. Okay, right next to him, Travis Shaw, number 12 overall player in his entire class, 5-star. And he's the backup. So that defensive line where people are like, oh man, he had Florida talent. He had Mississippi State talent. Carolina's got a ton of talent. Ton of talent. When Matt came back after that 2019 season, or that recruiting class, when he kind of salvaged everything, 2020, 2021, 2022, great recruiting classes. Great. I'm talking about top 15 recruiting classes. Everybody bought in. Everybody stinking bought in. So that talent is here. That same talent that a SEC team would recruit is right here in that front 4. Then you go behind that. And they're even talking about like Rodney Laura, Jacoby Cowan is stinking playing lights out. A lot of these guys are upperclassmen. They're seniors, bro. These are really good football players, and that's what Jeff Collins is stinking inheriting. And then, staying on the defensive front, obviously Gene Chizik with the bend don't break. Hey, we're going to catch you. We're going to peek. We're going to try to read and react. Bo Atkinson said, hey, bro, it's freedom. He's saying, hey, go out there, make plays, be instinctive, attack. Attack, bro. That's what they're going to do. There's no more stinking read and react. No, we're going to stinking attack. That's just from the front 4. And I love it because I hate watching defenders, especially defensive linemen, just catch people and hold a gap. I don't like that, man. Let them stinking get in the backfield. Let them eat. Let them eat. And I think it was Elijah Huzzy who actually said Jeff Collins' defense is going to allow the front four to stink and eat. Behind him, Power Eccles, high 4-star guy. Beside him, Amari Campbell. Dude, Amari, I'm telling you, man, we're going to be excited about Amari Campbell. My guy fills the stinking hole. Cedric Gray is a big miss, obviously. 366 tackles over the course of the last 3 years. That's a lot to replace. I get it. But Power stinking steps in to his spot, and Amari comes in and fills with him. The starting linebackers are okay. Now, behind them, we're kind of short, right? You got Michael Short, Cade Law. You got a couple of guys that are kind of trying to get into that second level, but we still look good at linebacker, man. And then if that's not enough, okay, Elijah Huzzie moves back outside to the corner, which is his natural position, and then you got Marcus Allen on the other corner. Bro, I'm telling you right now, man, Carolina you should feel real good about what you got on the outside. I feel super confident with those dudes on an island, and Marcus Allen's put on 10 pounds of muscle, and they said he's still moving with good stinking fluidity. It's not like it slowed him down. He's a lot stronger on his jam, and they're going to be pressing more this year, which is great to hear. They're going to attack. They're going to attack. So you got Marcus Allen, Elijah Huzzie on each side, and then in the back, you got Will Hardy. You got Jakeem Harris. You got DeAndre Boykins, who's moving over from that star position. I figured that he would stink and come back and just kind of pick up where he left off, because I was a huge DeAndre fan. DeAndre moves over to safety because Caleb Koss comes over from the baseball team, and apparently the dude's playing lights out, man. Jeff said the dude will just literally reach up and snag the ball like a center fielder. Maybe it's because that's what he plays on the baseball field, right? Just a great athlete. So Caleb takes the reins of that stinking star position. DeAndre goes back to safety, allowing them to establish even more depth right there. And what I love about this secondary is you got guys like Jakeem and Stick. You got guys like DeAndre Boykins. Caleb Koss will come up and pop you. Bro, they will lay the stinking wood. I love that. We should have no issues in run support this year. None. Amari fills the hole, powers the heat-seeking missile, and you got a secondary that likes to get downhill. Should be no stinking issues, bro, with filling the hole and stopping the run, especially against a big physical team like Minnesota in the Big Ten. We should be stacking the box, man, until they can prove they can stinking run the football. And like I said, you should feel real good with Elijah Huzzie and Marcus Allen on the stinking edges. Now, what does Gene Chizik have to fix, though? North Carolina's defense in 2022, Gene Chizik's defense finished 102nd in total defense. Gave up 30.8 points per game in 2022. They averaged giving up 23 completions out of 34 pass attempts for 271 yards, which was good for a 66% completion percentage and 2 touchdown passes per game. In 2023, this seems like everything got better. North Carolina gave up 27.3 points per game, 20 completions, 33 attempts, 241 yards per game. So they apparently improved by 30 yards per game. And what are we looking at? Almost 4 points if you round up, 4 points, right? And 1.5 touchdown passes per game. Here's the problem. Here is the stinking problem. In the second half of the season against Power 5, last 6 games, the Carolina defense gave up 222 total points in 6 games against Power 5. That's 37 points per game. Atrocious. That is Gene Chizik's bend don't break defense. Well, it's stinking broke, bro. Way too freaking often. Way too often. So Bo Atkinson, he said about defensive coordinator Jeff Collins, the mentality behind the scheme is to attack all the time. When you don't have to hold back ever, that's pretty stinking cool. What does that tell you about what Gene did? And we saw it. The defensive line got almost no push aside from basically Kamen and Desmond, who would occasionally apply some stinking pressure. And Bo Atkinson is telling you right there, hey, man, we're not holding back. We're attacking. Good night is about stinking time. Is that not a breath of fresh air just to even hear? We ain't even seen it yet. And that crap, like, makes my skin stinking. You know, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Watching an aggressive defense, not some stinking passive playing grab ass and stuff, bro. I can't stand it, and I'm glad that it's stinking gone. At least in theory, it's gone. At least in stinking theory, it's gone. It's an amazing statement, bro. When you don't have to hold back ever, that's pretty cool. I agree, bro. I stinking agree. I agree. Jeff is going to be aggressive. There's a reason they call him the Minister of Mayhem, bro. There's a reason. The defense, you're going to see this a lot, bro. You are not going to be able to tell where the pressure is coming from. He's going to disguise it, okay? There's going to be a ton of disguises. Blitzes are going to be coming from all different angles, bro. There's going to be tons of smoke and mirrors. Tons of smoke and mirrors. The whole thing is trying to confuse the quarterback, man. Elijah Husley made this statement talking about the defensive front. Get after the quarterback. Let our D-line go hunt. Remember all those guys I was telling you about? Let Kamen eat. Let the 5-star Desmond eat. Let Travis Shaw get in there and eat. Let everybody get in there and eat, man. That's what Elijah said was going to happen. I don't know about y'all, but I'm stinking looking forward to it. Get after the quarterback. Let our D-line eat. He calls it the DDF. Deliver the blow, disengage, and finish. DDF. So, and then Collins said he wants to rotate guys in, man. He said he wants to play 20 to 24 people. He said that he thinks that they can go 10 deep on the defensive line. Now, you know, I have my reservations about that number. That seems a little lofty. However, if you can go 7, 8 deep and keep guys thinking fresh, that's great. That's stinking great. And that's one of the stinking bugaboos about the last couple of years is Carolina has not been rotating people in. You got your linebackers with 900 snaps. You got people just that are gassed, worn out. Their legs are done at the end of the year. Rotate them out, man. Let these guys get some burn, especially considering the fact that about 6 or 7 of these dudes are going to be gone next year because they're seniors. They're upperclassmen, right? So some of these young guys, the Rodney Lauras, man, got to get some burn. Jacoby Cowan's going to be gone, right? Rucker, Desmond Evans, they're all going to be gone. So these boys should eat, man. That defense should be stinking hungry. There is no, oh, well, he had SEC talent. This guy right here in his upper class, bro, he's got stinking top 15 talent. Got top 15 talent. Question, and he's got top 15 talent against other ACC teams. So, you know, I just vehemently expect for this defense to be drastically improved, man. I expect, hey, I appreciate you, Nick, for stopping by, man. I appreciate you, brother. The defense should be drastically improved. And it all starts with this thinking, the culture. The culture, man. You hear all these guys talking about freedom and being able to play, not holding back. You think about Gene, man, talking to people, which I like Gene. Gene's a good guy, man. He's done some great stinking things. Man. But there's something about a dude that's like sucking down energy drinks, you know, and he's in your face and, you know, I mean, that is the kind of guy that motivates you to want to stinking put your helmet in somebody's stinking, you know, it makes you want to run through somebody. That's basically what I'm trying to get at, man. That's what we need. And that's what a lot of guys were saying, man. Hey, we're just missing the stinking energy. And that's what Jeff Collins brings to the table. He brings the energy, man. I want to get back to that 96, 97 defense, man, where they were laying the wood, where people feared them. That used to actually be one of the things that Carolina was known for. You know, it's the defense. Can we get back to that? 2009, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, maybe even in 2011, bro. Carolina had the defense, man. It was a complimentary football team. Complimentary. And I really think that that's kind of what we're looking at this year, man. We're looking at somewhat of a, that 2010 year where we were supposed to be dark horse national title contenders, and then obviously the academic scandal happened, and the majority of Carolina's starting lineup was ineligible for large portions of the season. I really feel like we're under the radar, man. Now, they weren't under the radar that year. This year, under the stinking radar. And if we can get any kind of decent play in the trenches with a complimentary quarterback, dude, we're going to be good. We're going to be really stinking good, man. I really believe that in the bottom of my heart. And, especially if Jeff can change the culture of this defense, man. Let them eat. Let them stinking eat, bro. Don't hold them back. Let them go find the football, attack the gaps, And I think that we're going to see a drastically improved defense this year. It's going to be an exciting defense because it's going to be bringing all kinds of stinking smoke, bro. And you're going to think one dude's coming and he's dropping back, and one dude you're going to think he's about to drop back in the deep third or something, and he's coming. That's stinking exciting to me, man. And that's what Carolina's been missing. And look, hey, until the Carolina offense proves that, they can move on, which I feel like they're going to be better than people are giving them credit for, we're going to have to lean on that defense, man. The defense is going to have to stinking, carry some of the load, for maybe some large portions of the season, man. When's the last time that you felt comfortable punting the football away in an instant where North Carolina had to make a stand? It's been a while, bro. It's been a stinking while. I feel like we're going to see that. I really do. And I think that it starts with the culture change. I think going from Gene Chizik to Jeff Collins, that is going to be huge. It's going to play drastic dividends, man. Like I said, I can't say enough that I really believe that this defense is going to be much improved. And it's going to be a breath of fresh air because we're getting sick. I know I'm speaking for most of Tar Heel Nation. We were getting sick of watching teams, just cut us 1,000 times, dink and dunk us down the field and just kind of playing grab ass with everybody as opposed to meeting people in the stinking hole, man. So breath of fresh air as far as I'm concerned, dude. And I'm really excited about watching what this defense does. Now, another, kind of caveat off of that is, and it's one of those topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but special teams. So Carolina's got to be able to flip the field. You don't want to put that defense in a bunch of short yardage situations, with short fields, if you will, because, Tommy can't stick it down there deep in the 20. So that's another thing to look at. Little caveat off of the defense going to special teams, is apparently they believe that Tom is the guy, that they didn't have to go get a punter in the portal. And, here we are, we're listening to the people that got boots on the ground, and they're saying that he's shanking them off the side of his foot into the side of the practice facility and stuff like, hey, man, we got to get that fixed. And, if Larry Porter can't get it done, then maybe we need to move on for that too. I mean, he's a great running backs coach, but, he's been tasked as a special teams coordinator. And, we've had, 2 punts blocked last year and countless other ones that were almost thinking blocked or partially blocked, so those are the things that got to be fixed. That's an up back situation. I think last year, bro, I remember I was so upset because they had a punt blocked one game. Then the next game, almost the exact same thing transpired, and they had another punt blocked. And it's like, good night, man. How in the world do we not fix this? How does this happen? We got to get the right up backs in. And yeah, I would say that that's something that you need to do. Or maybe stop rugby styling it into a blitzing guy if you're not going to meet him. It's little things like that, man. Little things like that I think that, Carolina's shift in culture is going to drastically improve, the outcomes of a lot of these games, man. What's up, Nick? So, all these people sleeping on the Minister of Mayhem. Bro, he's going to stink in. I think he's going to shock some people. He's going to stink and make a lot of haters have to put their foot in their mouth, man. At least that's what I'm calling right now, bro. That's what I'm calling right now. You don't think that dude's got a chip on his shoulder? He knows. He stinking knows. Everybody is like, especially the Georgia Tech fans, bro. They are hoping that he falls flat on his face. But he just doesn't have that stinking. He doesn't. Mac Brown will always coach for Carolina. Hey, if he doesn't fix it, Nick, if he doesn't fix it this year, I will be the first one calling for him to, kind of face the music, bro, and step out. Like do the right thing. I know you love it. I know you enjoy it. But as far as the head coach position is concerned, I think there's a point where you got to ask yourself, am I still the man for the job? Do I still got what it takes to bring this program where it could stink and be, or where it should be? So, we'll see, man. I mean, I said that last year, and I said that the year before this, or the year before that. I think this is my last straw. It really is. I mean, everybody that's on this team, everyone. Yeah, coaches from the field. I hear you, Scott. Everyone that's on this stinking team right now, everybody that's in this coaching staff is because Mac Brown has appointed them there or recruited them. This is his team. 100%. So where this team goes, hey, you got to follow it all the way back up the chain, bro. If it's great, then you know what? We got to put credit where credit is due. If it's bad, the very same thing. And like I've stated in previous videos, there ain't no excuse with this schedule, bro. I mean, this is cookie cutter made for you to have a redeeming year. A year that you can point to and say, I told you so. This is what that schedule points to, man. This is what that schedule points to. There are at least 10 wins here. 10, at least. At least, man. Yeah, Dave Dorn does more with less. He does more with less. And Carolina has, especially the last 4 or 5 years, they've done less with more. When you got top 15 recruiting classes, man, and you've lost some of the games that Carolina's lost, you just can't explain it, man. A lot of it's just culture. It's soft. Soft teams lose games that they shouldn't lose. And Carolina has had so many of those. Twice to Georgia Tech, once to UVA last year. I mean, even the games that they stink and won, a double overtime against Duke with their third-string quarterback, losing to NC State 2 years ago with their stinking third-string quarterback, losing last year when Brennan Armstrong came back. I mean, just embarrassing. That's another thing. I'm telling you right now, man. One thing, and I'm trying to be as polite as possible. One thing that I will not tolerate ever again is the showing that Carolina put out against NC State. Unacceptable. Like, I have never been more embarrassed to be a stinking Carolina fan than what they put on the field. It wasn't even the loss. I understand that losses are going to come. I understand that. But when you don't show up for your stinking rival on their home field, I take issue with all of the coaching staff. All of them. And we've had a couple of those, man. The South Carolina Bowl game a couple years ago. That's a cultural issue. That's culture. When a wide receiver is their starting quarterback and then they just we still got Sam Howell. And their wide receiver, turned, quarterback just destroys us. Destroys us. That's culture. Because you don't have the boys ready. Yeah, they didn't care at all, Scott. They didn't care at all, bro. And that's exactly how I felt last year at NC State. I literally felt like they did not care. And for the life of me, I don't understand how you don't care about that football game. And, one of the most alarming things, and I forgot about this statement. One of the most alarming statements he made was, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't lose sleep over NC State. Well, let me tell you something, friend. If you didn't have the pedigree that you did, that statement alone would be cause for termination. Because, and I'm speaking for my own personal experience, there is no win, that feels better than a win against State, and there is no loss that will piss me off more than losing to State. I would rather lose to Duke than NC State in football. 100%. 100%. And I'd rather beat State than beat Duke in football. The Duke game, that really don't do nothing for me in football, bro. The state game is a big game. That's a big game in this state. And, I just don't understand Tar Heels. I just don't understand them. We just don't care. We just don't. We don't care about State. We care about Duke. Come on, man. Why? Why? Well, Duke is the bigger rival in basketball. Because Duke is a basketball program. NC State, I know you guys had the run, Nick. Not a basketball program, So you guys were about to fire, Coach Keats before he made this stinking run. Now all of a sudden he's your guy. But, the two best football programs in the state are North Carolina and NC State. And so that's why it's stinking a bigger deal. State, that's my favorite game to watch every year. It's been that way. Yeah, I understand that, Nick. I mean, like I said, I don't like NC State basketball either. But, when Carolina plays State at basketball, it doesn't move the needle like a Duke game will. Just like the Duke game in football doesn't move the needle like the State game does in football. That's just everybody hates Carolina because they're Carolina. I mean, I know that there's a lot of State fans that'll probably disagree with that, but the simple fact of the matter is yes, you guys have won 3 in a row, but we are the stinking. When people think of the University of North Carolina, or when they think about the state of North Carolina, they think of UNC. Yeah, they're irrelevant. Yeah, I hear you. They think about UNC, and every other team it's second. It's second, man. And it'll always be like that. And that's not just me being a stinking fanboy. It's what it is. When I was in the Army and I traveled the country, yeah, they are. That's what they say. Anything but Carolina. But when I traveled the country and I told them that I was from North Carolina and they found out I like sports, they immediately think, oh, you like UNC. Yeah, because I'm from North Carolina. That's what they do. So the whole thing is that, and we talked about this last year with that football game and Peyton Wilson's comment of, hey, when you want culture, you come to Raleigh. Well, that should be stinking fighting words in and of itself. Right? Carolina has got to change the culture. Is Jeff Collins the guy to do that? I think he is. And I think that we're going to see a drastic culture change, for that North Carolina defense, especially this year, man. I want to see guys flying around and laying the stinking hat, bro. I want to see them flying around and laying the stinking hat, and I want to see it from week 1. I think that's what we're going to see. There's no excuse. And if we underachieve this year with what we have, especially on the defensive side of the football, man, hey, look, we need to clean house. Because we're out of excuses. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 4 times, bro. Well, I'm just a stinking moron now. And you guys already know. For everybody that's already watched my preview and prediction show, and I'm not just spitballing here, I really think that Carolina's going to win 11 games. You know why? Because I'm putting my chips. Once again, you guys heard this crap last year. I'm putting my chips on Mac Brown. You got me last year, coach. Y'all boys let me down. Hey, I'm going all in one more time. I'm going all in on you, coach, one more time. I believe you can do it. I believe you will do it. Don't Don't make me be a fool, man. Don't make me stinking be a fool. So, you guys, you tell me what you think, man. You guys tell me what you think, especially Tar Heel Nation. What do you think about this defense? Are you excited? Do you expect Jeff Collins to come in, change the culture, and therefore, ipso facto, we see a drastic positive change for this defense? Because I think that is going to be one of the main things that we got to look at when we think about how much success this team is going to have. 10-2, Scott, who are your losses to? I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say, obviously, one's Florida State. Who else you got Carolina losing to, man? Oh, I mean, I picked that as a loss, Nick. I picked that as a loss. And I'm definitely not going to, if Carolina ends up going to Tallahassee and beating Florida State, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put any money on that. So you got 10-2 as well, Nick. FSU and then also losing the State. I hear you. Hey, I got a fun thing in the works, man. I'm sure the NC State fans will really like this, but I'm going to be doing a preview and prediction show for NC State. So I think a whole bunch of people are going to stink in that one's going to stink and get a lot of people. It'll be interesting to see what people think. And I'm not joking around, man. I mean, I'm going to have some fun doing it, but I'm legitimately going to pick my preview and prediction for the NC State Wolfpack, man. So I'm excited about that one, man. I'm stinking actually excited about that. I haven't put it together yet. I have not put it together yet, but I'm really excited about that one. I think that one's going to stink in, it's going to light a little fire. I also got something kind of in the works, man, where I want to bring in another content creator for Georgia Tech. He despises Carolina, and he's thinking he definitely despises Jeff Collins. But I want to bring him in and see, kind of get some insight of what he thinks about Jeff Collins and what he anticipates that he'll do at Carolina this year too, man. So I'm trying to get those things in the works, man. Working a ton and just trying to facilitate all this stuff, man. It's a little bit harder than it may seem, but we got some fun things in the works, bro. And we're only thinking, 19, 20 days away from August 29th, man. So, hey, football is right around the corner, bro. It really is, man. It really stinking is. So, it can't come soon enough either. I feel like I'm counting down the days, man, until we head to Minnesota. So, because they're doing 212 this year. You got to rephrase that, Nick. I don't know what you were saying, brother. But yeah, I think Carolina's going to surprise a bunch of people, man. And I think it's going to start with obviously that stinking defense. That defense is going to be much improved, and Jeff Collins is going to make people put their foot in their own stinking mouth, man. What's up, Talkers Pit? How you doing, bro? How's it going, brother? They're going to be top 12 in the playoffs. You think State is going to the playoffs? You heard it there, man. Nick has got the Wolfpack. Do you realize, Nick, that y'all play at Tennessee? Then y'all, in the fourth game of the season, you got to go to Death Valley. Or you don't play at Tennessee. You play Tennessee and Charlotte. But then you got to go to Death Valley and play Clemson in the second game of the year. Like I said, man, I'm going to pick NC State stinking. I'm going to pick their schedule. I can't wait to put that video together, man, because I'm going to have some fun doing that, man. Whoo, Pitt. Talk is Pitt, man. You got the Pitt Panthers with 9 W's. That's interesting, man. That's interesting. Yeah, I know y'all beat Clemson last year, man, but hey, look, there's no more. Hey, you guys know who I'm talking about, man. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. There's no more Dale. Gosh, what's his name, man? Dale. What's this stick? What's the stepbrother's guy's name? What's the stepbrother dude's name, man? What? Not Will Ferrell. What's the other one? What's his name in the movie? Dale Duback? Is it Duback? L's the UNC, Clemson, and Louisville. Hey, 9 wins would be a great step in the right direction for that Pitt program. You think Yarnell's the guy? I think y'all got somebody else coming in too, man. But gosh, man, Dale Dunneback. That's who Peyton Wilson looks like. Peyton Wilson looked like the stepbrothers guy, not Will Ferrell, the other one. So now you got Phil Maffa running downhill, bro. There's no Peyton Wilson to stop him, dude. That's a tough task, man. And y'all got to go to Death Valley. Hey, man, if you think you got it, you got it. Yarnell's the guy for now. Talk is Pitt. I hear you, bro. I hear you. I hear you, man. But, I mean, like I said, bro, if you think that y'all are walking into Death Valley, man, then, hey, we'll see. We'll stink and see. All I know is, Tennessee with, what's the quarterback's name? Nico, number 2 player in his class. And he's thinking hooped last year in the bowl game. I think he had a touchdown pass and then 3 rushing touchdowns against that Iowa defense. Eli Holstein, that's who it is. Yeah, Eli Holstein, that's who it is. I couldn't think of his name. Talkers Pit. Yeah, it'll be it'll be interesting to see if Yarnell can hold that position with Eli coming in. But yeah. Like I said, man, there's so many different stories we could think and talk about. Yeah, I agree. Why not us, man? But you're putting an awful lot on Grayson McCall to come in and really hold it down. Yeah, KC is that dude. KC's that dude, and y'all got Noah Rogers coming over from Ohio State. I mean, Jordan Waters is an above-average back, but y'all are replacing a ton on defense, dude. A ton. And I still don't think, yes, you had a better recruiting class than Carolina last year, but I still don't think that NC State top to bottom, the talent level is, Carolina's still the more talented team. It's just State does more with less, and Carolina does less with more every stinking year. Hopefully that changes, man. Hopefully that stinking changes. So, hey, do me a favor, man. If you're in here, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Pretty good little talk, man. We talked about some defense and special teams, talked about culture. Then we kind of got off topic. We started talking about NC State, Pitt's quarterback situation with Talk is Pitt. Rogers got no real burn at Ohio State. That's why I left. Yeah, of course. But he's probably going to get burned at NC State, because you got KC, and then who else do you really got? You got KC Concepcion. And I'm telling you right now, bro, don't be surprised if Elijah Huzzy or Marcus Allen shadow that guy. He got – this is what I want State fans to realize. KC had a retarded game. Excuse my language if that offends anybody, but KC had a stinking ridiculous game, okay, against North Carolina. And I got a lot of heat from it from Carolina, some Carolina people, because, we had a running back turned safety matched up on his head over and over and over and over again. So, what does KC do when he's got, a potential NFL corner on his head? It's going to be different, bro, than having a 4th-string running back trying to guard you. And look, that's a defensive issue in and of itself. Thank you, Gene Chizik. I don't know how you don't see, you got to put your best defender on this kid's head. I don't think KC has that kind of game this year, as good as he is. He's not going to have that kind of game this year because Carolina's just too talented in the secondary. So he's going to get Carolina's best guy on his head, and they're going to make, yeah, exactly. No secret this year. Completely, Jamil. Completely. No secret, bro. No secret. He's going to get everybody's best guy, and there's no more Gene Chizik to put, like I said, a 4-string running back on his head. So good luck doing that against Elijah Huzzy. You talk about putting money on something. I'll put some money that Elijah Huzzy does not allow KC to run amok like he did last year. Guarantee it. Marcus Allen ain't going to let that happen either. So it's going to be a different ball game, man. It's going to be a different ball game. It's going to be a stinking different ball game. Different defense, different defensive coordinator. Hopefully Jeff Collins can change the culture. And I'm telling you right now, if NC State beats Carolina this year 4 times in a row, that is a fireable offense. I'm not asking you to step out the door. I'm asking you to be fired. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, man. I'm going to keep it. And yeah. And then the fact that we're in Chapel Hill. You beat us 3 years in a row. Last time you were there, you stinking put your flag on our stinking, hey, look, I wouldn't be mad if people, were ready to stinking fight. And obviously I'm being facetious. I want to watch some good football. I don't want it to get ridiculous, but you need to have a little bit of animosity about you in that football game. 4 times in a row against NC State. Nope, not happening. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. We cannot have that here in Chapel Hill. So like I said, hey, do me a favor, man, if you're still in here, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let your friends know about the Tar Heel Huddle, bro. And I appreciate everybody kind of stopping by and hanging out. Your boy's got to get up super early. So I'm going to get off of here. We're going to cut this one a little bit short, about 15 minutes short. Good conversation, man. And y'all make sure, if you haven't already, like I said, I'm belaboring this, man. Tell your friends about the huddle and keep your eyes open for some fun, exciting content coming down the pipeline. I love you guys, man. I appreciate everything. I appreciate you guys. Even you, Nick. Even my frenemy, man. And we'll catch y'all on the next one, baby. Go Heels.